Okay, so here's like a most basic setup tutorial for fluid flow. So I just start with a completely empty scene and add a sphere. And then to this sphere we add a canvas component and target the renderer of the sphere. In the editor we can also see the UV layout of the targeted renderers we've selected. And as fluid flow needs like a padding around the UV island to transfer the fluid between UV seams, so we have a UV seam on the left and on the right side here, and currently there's no space between, or actually there is, but not on the left side, so the fluid couldn't flow from the left side to the right side. And if we just click the auto layout button now, fluid flow has automatically corrected this. And for this basic setup, that's already all we need. Now to the texture channels. By default we get this color texture channel here, but in our case now we want to target the fluid channel. So we can either just type in the name of the scriptable object here we want to use. This is the fluid texture channel. So we could just type in fluid here, or select direct and just use the texture channel we want to use. And the similar for the format. We don't want to use like a color format which uses just like RGB 8-bit depth texture channel, render texture in the background, but instead we want to use like a full floating point texture channel to store fluid amounts above 1. So again, we can select direct here and insert the proper format, and the fluid channel should be initialized to black, meaning like 0, 0, 0, so no fluid. Okay, so the texture channel, because this might be a bit confusing, this name here refers to the name of the texture property inside of the shader. So if we take a look at the shader we want to use, here's the fluid texture we want to, which is drawn to by the canvas, and this is named _fluid text here. And usually Unity automatically creates like this vector here, the fluid text st automatically adds this postfix, and this contains like a scale and offset. So when the fluid flow canvas contains multiple renderers, the shader knows which parts of the texture should be used for each of the renderers. And this is exactly the name we have to input here. And in the shader, I will set to this material soon. This is named fluid text st. And so we can just like apply this material. I have here this simple material with this shader applied, and now it's set. And with this, the canvas is already set up. Now to draw to this canvas, we can just create a simple brush here. And there are many ways to do this. This is not just as an example. And then add a simple draw sphere brush. Here we have to select the canvas we want to draw to, and then also again the texture channel we want to target, and in our case this is the fluid texture channel. And the brush object here just defines the color and amount of fluid. You can just create your own, and then the radius. So here onto this object, each time we will hit the mouse button, a virtual sphere of a radius of 0.2 will be doesn't really exist, but it pretends like there's a sphere, and each pixel of the canvas which overlaps this sphere in world space will be painted. And yeah, this is just like a very simple test script. You can just use any of the other functions like draw, capsule, decall, sphere. Okay, so if we just start this and hit the mouse button, you see that the color gets applied. Now to actually simulate the fluid flowing, we just have to create a gravity component first to create the gravity vectors for the canvas. So we have to target the canvas. All of the default settings are fine. And then for actually moving the fluid, we need a simulator. The simulator uses the vectors created by the gravity map, and we have to tell it which channel of the canvas actually contains the fluid. So it just looks up the fluid indirectly, or we can just say directly and give it the proper reference to the fluid texture channel. And the default settings are fine here already. And now if we hit the mouse button, you see the fluid is simulated. And I even think that the gravity should already be updating in real time. Yes, it just timed out. That's why it didn't move. But you see it moves and it already flows over the UV seams. You can take a look here at the internal render texture. Yeah, that's basically already it for a basic setup. Everything else should be hopefully easier to understand from there. Let me know if you still have any questions. Thank you. Bye.